I'm totally prepped and ready now. I've tested my leather, I've tested my stitch length, and we're ready now to start sewing the bag together. So this is the most exciting bit. We're going to start sewing the bag. So we're going to be doing a 1 centimetre seam allowance, doing a back tack at the beginning and at the end of each one of your seams. So the 1 centimetre is the 10 mil line on this machine. So you should have a similar thing on your machine. And what I recommend when starting sewing leather is to start actually about a centimetre in, making sure that you're going completely parallel with that 10 mil line. Anchor down first so that the needle holds all the layers together. And then what I want you to do is actually go in reverse first, right to the edge, and then back on yourself. Now the reason for that is you're trying to prevent the leather from slipping at the very start, and just go really nice and slow, making sure those edges are completely perfectly matched, so the 2 layers are perfectly matched. And just keep on gauging that nothing's stretching too much, because ideally you want both of these bits of leather to stop and start at the same point without it having sort of stretched out. So it's all about kind of like double checking your next sort of 10 centimetres or so. So on this side, I'm going to come all the way to the end and then do a reverse stitch. And that is your first seam done. Woohoo! So that's your first seam done, and we're going to repeat that on each one of those 5 panels that we've got in a row. And the next bit I want you to do is the facing. So similar vibe, we're just going to be doing like a shorter seam here, taking the quilting clips off so that we don't have them in the way. Anchoring down first, reverse. And if any of you are struggling at all with like the thickness of your leather, if it's like sort of skipping the stitches a little bit, one little trick is to actually hold the front of the foot down just to get it going, and you should find that will really prevent it from skipping any stitches, or particularly if it's going over a big chunky bit of the seam. And then we're going to plough through all those seams now. So what we're going to do now is stitch all the way along the lovely grab handle. So I want you to mark a little dot right from the end of the strap up to 10 centimetres and give yourself a nice definite starting point, and then same vibe on the other end. You're just going to measure 10 centimetres, and your dot, your awl dot, wants to be in from the edge by about 3 or 4 mils. And then what you're going to be doing is stitching all the way from that dot. We're going to do a couple of stitches back and forth, and then you're going to come all the way up to the other awl dot that we did, and again do a couple of stitches back and forth. Now this will probably be a little bit of a sort of trickier bit in the sense that you've actually got 4 layers of leather all coming together. So I'm going to put the foot down, a couple of stitches forward, and I would definitely recommend putting your finger on the front of this foot now to stop it from jumping. You should find once it gets going, it's totally fine. And in terms of distance, I'm sort of gauging about half of this foot. If you imagine this side of the right-hand side of the foot, the raw edge of the leather is running right bang smack in the middle of it. And that should then give you something to kind of follow. Taking the quilting clips off as you get to them, obviously, and just remembering they're just going up to that dot there where we've done the awl dot. Couple of stitches back and forward, and then you're all done. So you'll repeat that on the other side as well, please. So that's your grab handle all done. And then the next thing to talk about is your lovely long strap that's going through with the 45-degree angle. Where we've done that bit of double-sided tape, I want you to go as close as possible to that raw edge of the 45-degree, so maybe like 1 or 2 mils away. And again, just a couple of stitches back and forth at the beginning and end. And you're probably going to have to do quite a lot of those because there's loads of different like small little angles to sew.